Welcome back to Let's Play 2064, a cyberpunk game of stuff. We're here to speak to this lady. Zin, Augmented Eye Executive Extraordinaire. That's what the plaque on her desk says, anyway. The Augmented Eye Organization, or Division, or whatever. Let's show her ID.
Huh. Nice photo. Welcome to Augmented Eye.
Some spoiled milk? That wouldn't even be a good enough idea for some terrible hidden camera prank TV show. Can we listen to her?
What am I supposed to do with those? Listen to this conversation being delayed?
Hell yes. You can hear the echo, echo.
I'd prefer not to talk about them. I have employees I don't want to put in the line of fire. Oh, hello. Welcome to Augmented Eye. You must be the journalist my network admin said would be showing up.
I must be.
Have a seat. Would you like a drink?
Water would be nice.
My assistant will bring it right away. Look, I'll start off by saying I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing in another journalist to look into this. Whatever you dig up, I'll have to explain to the rest of the press. But it's still better than the other options. Chances are I have another corporation scoping out my territory. If they aren't in the coalition, they'll be expecting a corporate spy, not a news hound. If they are in the coalition, it won't look good for me to send in my own reporters against my allies. Even if I do end up being right.
Alright, we got some corporate spy shenanigans going on.
So if I'm damned either way, I'd rather it be by the media.
Yep.
At least then we can fight back on a familiar battlefield. Now, what do you know about our problem here?
Not much. Someone is tampering with your articles on the mesh.
That's the long and short of it. My network admin is pulling their hair out over it. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything they say, but from what I understand, the changes to our articles aren't being made from inside our network. The versions on our servers are still the originals, but at some point after they hit the mesh, they get changed. I'm hoping that you can do some digging, maybe hit up your contacts and get a lead on who might be doing it. Even if I have to get answers from the nightly news, it will be a big help.
What kinds of changes are being made?
Mostly little things. Word choice, tone of the writing, things that make the writer appear more or less extreme on a topic. So far, almost all of the edits seem to be making our articles more positive on new technologies coming out, and more critical of organizations like the Human Revolution. That's actually what tipped us off.
I'm wondering if there's some sort of an AI in the system that's changing things to make technology look better.
A harsh criticism one of my writers made about the Human Revolution protests was changed to be downright vitriolic, and I had a hell of a time putting out the fires.
Or it's the Human Revolution doing a false flag to try to make these guys look like extremists. Who knows?
My writers and readers aren't exactly fans of them, but I'd rather not pick fights with the Human Revolution if I don't have to.
Why are you so sure it isn't an inside job?
I guess I'm not, but my network admin assures me it's all coming from somewhere else. They told me that they tore out all of the routers that broadcast to the mesh and replaced them with fresh ones. All kinds of tricks involving IP addresses and DNS changes that I'm not going to even begin to claim to understand. I pay them big bucks, so I'm inclined to believe them unless you dig up something that tells me otherwise.
Where should I look?
Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could make these kind of changes as something passes across the net. Personally, I think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself. The public trust rating of Parallax makes them look like a saint among wolves, so their control over the mesh network provisions is strangling. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust. Or, Parallax is abusing its power to spread pro-tech propaganda. Doubtful they need to. I'm sure you'll be a good journo and bring me back the right answer.
Don't put too much confidence in me.
I know tin hat conspiracies aren't an ideal start, but it's the best we can do with the info we have. Anything else I can tell you, off the record? If you want it on the record, it'll cost you your firstborn and a really good cigar.
Do you know if anyone else has articles being manipulated?
Alright, look. I wasn't going to tell you this. If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, you didn't hear this from me. You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova. That's all I'll say. And remember, you take a bite out of him with my name as your defense, I drop you fast.
Can you think of any reason why?
Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about Augmented Eye, really. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, if I say so myself. We started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055, almost 10 years ago now. We focus on more in-depth reporting of on-the-street happenings, on top of major news. We are one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type of reporting we do, they all clamored for it. They invested in the right places and it paid off. COS-IO Corp is happy to have us here in the OSF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, I can't see why anyone would target us. Unless they're just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the human revolution, and there are much more direct ways of making that happen.
What's the real reason you're bringing in outside help? Your own journalist should be able to handle digging up some dirt on a hacker.
What? Not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a good enough reason? Because I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, right? My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at gadget reviews, implant releases, not taking too many stims so they remember what they did at raves for the after-party reports. This needs an investigative journalist with serious contacts, not tech personalities. The fact that my network admin recommended you to me means you probably know the right people. Now, does that cover it? I'd like to remove my nose from your ass.
Whoa. That's it for now. I'll get back to you if I have more questions.
No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about speaking to you. Plausible deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember you got in contact with me not even second-hand, but third-hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone.
Alright.
Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever. If you need anything else, have your person get with my person. Don't come here directly. Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way. And this isn't the only fire I'm trying to put out. Good luck, and goodbye.
Well, that was more confrontational than I'd have expected, considering she was the one needing help. She never brought you that water, either.
Whoa.
Is it
forgot.
always like this?
Yep, pretty much. She knows the game, but we didn't walk away with nothing.
Very true. I will admit that I am interested in the possibility of a link back to Parallax. If all of this really is due to somebody manipulating the mesh net on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I will take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false path. Anyway, seems like our next step is... What the...
That doesn't sound like a good step. Oh, no.
What the... That's in!
That's really weird. Because another one of the games that I'm playing for this whole 2019 Cyberpunk thing has somebody falling out of a office building. Very strange. Is that a thing in Cyberpunk? Throw people out of office buildings? Well, that's one way to get... That's one way to get plausible deniability. No, okay, we're not going to say that. Oh no, we need to go help her. No, because then they'll know we're involved. What the hell happened?
She was defenestrated.
I don't know what that word means.
Emergency services are already on the way, and we are severely ill-equipped to help her. We should head back to her office and see if we can determine what happened here.
Well, that's just gonna get us even
Perhaps
deeper.
we can still dispense justice.
Oh boy. No, I can't look at any of the people or the body. Okay. Let's go see.
It looks like the desk has been cleared off. Let's take a look around, but be careful not to disturb any evidence. The police will be here soon. My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine Zin jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane without help. But who could have done it? I don't see any obvious marks on the floor or any other thermal hotspots.
You're saying no one else was here? Or at least no one with warm feet. It was a cold-footed robot. Or a guy with 2 peg legs.
It doesn't look like it.
Bits of glass are scattered in all directions from the window pane. It's too dangerous to even get close by the window. Shredded jade plant. Didn't they shred a plant somewhere else? People keep shredding plants. I wonder if that's a clue somehow. You attempt to pour one out for your fallen ally, but that's just gross. Wow. Can't fix the plant, no use trying. It's in the big greenhouse in the sky now. Alright. Kai 40s? Oh, that's her little robot.
Even a ROM like that doesn't deserve an end like this.
I tried to show the robot the Human Revolution pamphlet. Sure, just kick it while it's powered down, why don't you? Alright, can we use it? Probably not. Don't touch it. It's still evidence. There's no putting it back together. Talk to it. Audio receptors are one of its more visibly damaged parts. Okay, the desk might have fingerprints. Multiple monitors. Nah. Probably shouldn't touch Sin's desk, this being a crime scene at all. Pour some spilled milk on it. That's a permanent stain you cannot afford to leave.
Her personal computer is not password protected at the moment. Give me a moment to look through her files. Best to keep your fingerprints off of the keyboard.
Yep.
Most of this isn't very interesting. Committee reports, financials, article submissions. Oh, here we go. According to this email between Zin and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor Charlie Nova stood out like a sore thumb. Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the Human Revolution has been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been. Zin seemed to think he was just complaining about the protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever is manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole. Just like the Augmented Eye journalist. This Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to. We should go. There isn't anything else here, and the police are almost on the scene.
Son of a...
Well, I guess the police are already on the scene.
I should have figured the two of you would be here.
Because I'm good at investigating?
You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you?
This is a total misunderstanding.
I assure you, Detective Rivers, we are merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with Zin to discuss a possible lead and found her office in this state of disrepair.
Of course you did. Damn it. Fine, fine. Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up. We'll chat about the case more when I'm not busy scraping bodies off the pavement. You hear me?
Certainly, Detective Rivers. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time.
Yeah, whatever. Get moving.
Whatever. That's a lot of police bots. Why did you lie to Lexi? We could have told her about the articles.
Because it's better this way. We are chasing smoke trails. You think she would assist such an unlikely investigation? I do not need you to infer upon my motivations or highlight my duplicity. Detective Rivers has every bit of information that Zinn gave us on that computer. Her investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well get from a hard drive. Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw Zinn out of that window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than to get it out? We have little time for fooling about and must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him too. Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, we must not squander the time my dishonesty bought us.
Okay, lecture bot.
I have highlighted the main Neo SF offices for TMI Entertainment on your map. Let's go!
Oh, I just got it. TMI. Too much information. So we've got a lot of bots here. Successfully cordoned off the area. Not allowing anyone in. Alright, TMI Entertainment.
I hope some pity for me still remains, considering my recent tone, because I'm honestly not sure where we should start. I suppose we should just ask the receptionist to point us to somebody who can answer our questions.
What do you know about Charlie Nova?
Honestly, you do have your own mesh access, yes?
This guy sure is getting cranky.
I'm quite certain you can handle all the casual searches you might feel like making. We hardly have time for me to blather out every bit of exposition you desire when you could just go look it up on your own.
You just do a good job of making it concise.
Fair enough. If you think it will save time, I can continue to rattle off these facts when you ask for them. I just ask that you keep your queries to a minimum. We don't have a whole lot of time. Let me pull up the information you requested.
Yeah, so what do you know about Charlie Nova?
Charlie Nova is TMI Entertainment's most popular TV personality. He's gotten consistently high ratings for almost a decade and isn't afraid to tell you about it. The chatter on the mesh paints him as a bit arrogant, but in that loud, backslapping kind of way that a media star can get away with. He's best known for hosting Star in the Stratosphere. It's one of those talent-seeking reality programs.
Oh boy.
Apparently, when TMI can't organically discover enough celebrities, they just manufacture them. Oh, and also, according to this blog, Charlie's hair is flawless.
Alright. What can you tell me about TMI Entertainment?
TMI Entertainment is a relatively popular celebrity and gossip news conglomerate. They own OK Today. They did a good job transitioning from the traditional media models of television and news to the net-based model prevalent now, pioneered by their digital newspaper, OK Today's The Scanline. Some might call their programs rags, but opinion on the mesh seems more favorable than not. They stick to mostly good-natured prying and lean away from the seedier nastiness that paparazzi can get up to. As such, they have a positive relationship with many celebrities and regularly get exclusive scoops that keep their ratings up, despite their refusal to peddle in the darker side of the celebrity news circuit.
Got it. And we'll explore TMI in the next video.